In the bedroom, satanic symbols and a bed apparently used as a sacrificial altar were discovered.
Rituals?
Let me say that the cross is an inspiration, a sign of the Christian religion, a symbol of faith, hope, and love.
Symbols or people doing things that shouldn't be seen. Let's take a look into the world of unknown that will leave you shocked.
The power of the fire.
A bizarre video was uploaded online on September 2nd, 2018. It showed a dark place with people gathered inside. But they weren't normal people. Their faces were covered, and the way they moved, it felt like they were part of something evil. Turns out, they were new members being welcomed into a devil society.
I think what attracted me most to Satanism was just, I think, how preposterous a lot of stuff that was coming from people who called themselves Christians. I figured if they could do horrible things in the name of Jesus, then I could do wonderful things in the name of Satan.
The head of the group was leading the whole ritual. Later in the video, he said it wasn't what it looked like, that it was something else. But honestly, we've all heard enough to know what this was. It looked like they were working for the devil.
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
Basement encounter. A group of boys decided to check out an abandoned building that had scary rumors. People said a satanic cult had used it. Inside, they saw broken machines and a crashed elevator. As they moved closer to the basement, strange chanting started echoing around them. They kept going, careful but curious. In one room, a man stood still with his head covered. Candles flickered around him, and on the floor was a big Illuminati symbol. He seemed deep into a dark ritual. The boys didn't risk their lives and ran out fast. They made it out safe and never went back. Candle circle. While driving on a highway in Mexico, a man noticed something strange by the side of the road. A group of people stood on the ground, not moving much. Right beside them was a circle lit with candles. It looked like they were performing a ritual. The air felt heavy, and even from his car, the driver could tell this wasn't something normal. Without wasting a second, he kept driving, hoping they didn't see him. Whatever it was, he wanted no part of it. Dark Rite. In Ottawa, the Satanic Temple holds unbaptism rituals, ceremonies meant to break free from old religious ties. These events usually happen in quiet, private places. For those taking part, it's a personal act of freedom. But for outsiders, it feels dark and mysterious. Some say it's just symbolic. Others feel there's something deeper going on. But still, nobody knows for sure what's happening inside these hidden places. Strange ritual.
Two teenage women were discovered inside the house, their hands covered with blood.
On May 6th, 2025, a video was uploaded from an FBI operation where agents stormed a house they'd been observing for weeks. Locals had complained about screams and strange chanting. When agents finally went in, things got disturbing. The walls were marked with strange symbols. As they moved deeper, agents found signs of a ritual. One bedroom had satanic markings and a bed set up like an altar.
In the bedroom, satanic symbols and a bed apparently used as a sacrificial altar were discovered.
And the house gave the vibe that a recent ritual had been performed there recently. With no signs of people, or even ghosts, the authorities eventually had to seal the house for people to remain safe. Shiva Ritual. A video filmed at CERN in Switzerland showed a strange and controversial scene. A group of robed figures appeared to perform a mock human sacrifice right in front of the statue of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction and transformation that stands on CERN's campus. The clip quickly lit up concerns and sparked conspiracy theories online. What makes this video unsettling is the setting itself. CERN is known for real, advanced experiments, exploring dimensions beyond what humans can see, which keeps the mystery alive. Candle March. A guy on his way back home recorded an eerie ritual. He spotted a group of people dressed in red robes and masks, walking slowly, each holding a candle. There was also a priest involved in the ritual. It looked like he was the one they were doing all this for. Unfortunately, the exact location of the mysterious spot was not known, but the eerie reason behind it all was quite clear. Romanian Ceremony. A video from Romania showed a group of women in a small room getting ready for what looked like a ritual. They placed strange items around, speaking calmly in both English and Romanian. Then they started chanting. Suddenly, a small flame jumped higher than it should have. The fire moved like it was listening to their words. They talked about the power of the universe and said their strength grew during the ceremony. The video went viral, leaving many wondering what they had just seen.
The power of the fire.
Street freeze. One evening, a local man was heading home when he saw 4 boys standing in the middle of a quiet street. Their heads were tilted straight up, and their bodies were stiff and frozen in strange poses. He watched them for several seconds and knew something was wrong. Their faces looked empty, as if all emotion was gone. They didn't blink or move at all. It was like their souls had left them, or maybe they were caught in the middle of a ritual too deep to break. Terrified by the sight, the guy didn't wait to see what happened next and left the area. Doll awakening. Africa is known for strange sightings, and this video just adds to it. It showed 2 magicians entertaining a crowd in a small village. In front of them was a giant hut-like structure covering 2 creepy dolls. They first show everyone that the dolls were just regular props, but once they started their ritual and closed the hut again, things changed. The hut began moving on its own. Moments later, the dolls seemed to come alive and began moving on their own. It left the audience stunned. This didn't feel like a trick. It felt like real black magic happening right in front of them. Burning monk. A video from May 21st, 2016 quickly spread across India, showing a hermit in Indori village, Bind district, performing a ritual that many still can't explain. On top of that, a pot filled with hot coals was resting on his head. This intense act happens every single day at noon, something that no one can understand. According to locals, he's been doing this for over 22 years. Some say it's black magic, while others believe it's a sign of spiritual power. For the villagers, he has become a figure of hope and strength. Symbolic Mansion.
Step inside Alistair Crowley's house and look at this.
Some friends decided to explore the abandoned house. It had been closed since the 1800s, left untouched and hidden behind thick trees. The place looked like no one had stepped inside for years. Everything was broken, dusty, and falling apart. But what scared them the most was in the living room. Dozens of bowls were placed in a strange pattern, and odd marks were drawn on the floor. Lines connecting the bowls in a way that formed a symbol. When they stepped back, it was clear. It shaped the Illuminati sign. It wasn't just an old house. It was now tied to something dark. It was now the home of the devil.
Ritual's been going down with names and symbols I have never even.
Tribal trance. A creepy video was uploaded on May 6, 2025. It showed dozens of candles that were lit on the grave, and strange patterns that were drawn all over it. Those symbols looked a lot like the ones linked to the Illuminati, and it wasn't anything normal, but a voodoo ritual. These kinds of rituals are said to connect with spirits, maybe even for black magic. The video ended right there. No one knows what happened next. Maybe they got what they wanted. Paper Gateway.
Zozo. Oh my god, dude.
2 friends didn't expect much when they made a Ouija board using just paper and a plastic pointer. It seemed simple at first. When they asked if any spirit was present, the board replied with a yes. Then it spelled a name repeatedly, and the movement didn't stop after that. They tried to end it by sliding the pointer to goodbye, but before they could relax, the pointer was ripped away, and the whole board flew toward them. And when something like that happens, it's better to leave everything and make a run. Midnight chanting. A strange video appeared from a hostel in Nigeria, recorded by some hostlers who shook the internet. In the video, 3 boys stood by one side of the hostel, holding strange objects and chanting in a language no one recognized. The way they moved, the symbols on the ground, it was clear. This wasn't a prank. It was a satanic ritual. The boys didn't wait. They rushed to inform the authorities, because with rituals like that, no one knows what or who they might offer next. Cup session.
Oh my God!
4 friends gathered in a quiet room, testing out an Ouija board just for fun. After asking their question, they began to close the session by moving the cup in circles. But halfway through, something felt off. One of the girls suddenly froze, almost like she was in a trance. Then came a strange low sound from her mouth. Nothing human. She collapsed into her friend's arms, crying hard. They ended the session in panic, and though the spirit seemed to be gone, the incident was enough to leave them in shock. Hidden curse. This family decided to contact an Islamic scholar for their home's protection, and what he found was beyond explanation. Hidden in the rocks, they uncovered things that could only be related to black magic. The family was shaken, but felt safe now that it was about removed. But who could have done such a filthy thing to someone? This was something that still troubled them.
Görelim, ceylan derisine yapılmış dostlar. Kahır işleminin farklı bir versiyonu. Denfer dediğimiz bir yönlendiricidir.
Factory ritual.
Shouldn't be here. Why, look, it says right there, you shouldn't be here.
A group of explorers wandered into an old, abandoned factory, not expecting much beyond rusted machines and empty halls. Just before stepping in deeper, they noticed a message on the wall. You shouldn't be here. But they didn't take it seriously. Inside, the walls were covered with graffiti and odd symbols they couldn't understand. Chairs were placed in perfect circles, and near them lay a strange doll. Though everything in the place felt wrong, but they didn't turn back. As they moved forward, the symbols got darker, and then they saw it. One final setup, freshly made. Someone had been there, and they knew the group had come. And that was the time they knew it was time to leave.
You're on your own casual satanic ritual, the gods to be sacrificed.
Secret ceremony. A video leaked from none other than Bohemian Grove, a place surrounded by mystery. Though the footage was grainy and shot at night, it showed something few have heard of and even fewer have seen. Dozens of people were gathered, their bodies fully covered, taking part in a strange ritual that was hard for any outsider to understand. The number of participants proved this wasn't just a place of rumors. The secret ceremonies really happened. Now the world has seen what was once hidden, adding a new chapter to the Grove's dark story.
Joyous pipings of a funeral march.
Cursed water. One night, a CCTV captured a creepy scene. A woman, fully covered from head to toe, approached a house. She began throwing water all around it. It seemed very strange, but here comes the terrifying part. In Muslim culture, this is known as a black magic curse. The water is cursed before being thrown, meant to bring disfavor or bad luck to the home. After that night, the house started experiencing strange and unsettling events. The video spread quickly, leaving many wondering what dark forces had been released. Shadow procession. During the king's coronation at Westminster Abbey, everything seemed perfectly in order until a short clip from the live broadcast stunned the world As the guards marched past a grand doorway, a shadowy figure suddenly glided behind them. Dressed entirely in black and holding a long staff, the figure moved quickly and vanished without a trace. Viewers across the globe were convinced they had just witnessed the Grim Reaper appear in one of the most sacred ceremonies in British history. Many replayed the moment, trying to make sense of it, but the figure was already gone. Fur rises. There is a group in Africa that claims it can bring a soul to lifeless objects, and this video is just one example of the strange rituals they perform to support that claim. It begins with a giant gorilla figure lying on the ground. The performer, dressed in traditional attire, had created a large, gorilla-shaped body covered in fur. He began his ritual by circling around it, smashing the ground, and ringing a bell. Slowly, the fur appeared to grow thicker. Then, shockingly, the gorilla figure seemed to come to life. After this video went viral, many began to believe in black magic, because there's no other way to explain it. Blood sample. So it looks like we aren't safe anywhere. Watch this video of young girl standing in queue. And now notice this strange woman standing behind her. At first, she could be seen reciting something, and then she pinched the girl. What were the exact reason behind the woman doing this creepy stuff is still unknown. But there is a belief that people take out blood, even a drop of it, with the intentions to possess them or harm them. Unfortunately, there's no way to find out what happened to that girl, but let's just hope that she is doing okay. White circle. A man was hiking through a quiet mountain trail one afternoon when he spotted something that made him freeze. Just ahead, a group of people stood in a perfect circle, all dressed in white. They were chanting softly, performing what looked like a ritual. It didn't take long for them to notice the guy. The moment they turned their head, he decided to walk away. After the video was made public, the online community showed concern about the minors, who apparently was part of the creepy ritual. Candle gathering. A couple was walking through downtown late at night when they saw something strange in a quiet side street. A small group of people stood silently, their bodies fully covered in dark cloth, each holding a candle. The couple slowed down for a moment, trying to understand what they were seeing, but as soon as they looked closely, they realized this wasn't just a gathering. It looked like a cult performing a demonic ritual. Without saying a word, the couple kept walking, not daring to stop. They knew they weren't supposed to be there, and that thought might just have saved their lives. Devil protest.
The group, the Satanic Temple, unveiled this statue of Baphomet outside the state capitol as a protest against another religious statue. That event is now part of a new documentary about the group.
In 2018, the Satanic Temple made headlines by placing a statue of Baphomet outside the state capitol. This wasn't just for shock. It was a protest against another religious. The moment became a key part of Hail Satan, where the group explained their beliefs. They said they don't actually worship Satan, but according to them, they see him as a symbol of rebellion and freedom.
Simply for asserting the right to exist. It's a little offensive at the end of the day, but at the same time, I think people have a hard time with Satanism and taking it seriously because there is a humorous element to it, because they are having some fun. I mean, if there's any religion that's fun, it's Satanism.
Their goal is to stand for free speech and equal rights in religion.
Great day to be a Satanist. I believe it, and I'm very excited about it.
But many didn't believe it. Even with backlash, they kept growing. And even the IRS officially recognized them as a church.
The Satanic Temple announced it has received official recognition as a church by the IRS, granting it the same rights as a mainstream religious organization.
However, this doesn't stop people to think that they work for the devil. Hidden Chapel. A video leaked online on January 2, 2025, and it shocked people all over the world. The footage showed a secret church hidden away from public eyes. But there was something very strange about this place. It wasn't a regular church. It was used to serve the devil. The video shows a devil worshiper entering the church fully covered in dark robes, adding to the eerie feeling. This was something most never thought they would see. Now the world has seen it, and the video has left many unsettled. Fiery exit. The Order of the Solar Temple wasn't just another secret society. It attracted wealthy and well-educated people who felt disconnected from traditional religion, but still searched for deeper meaning. Founded in Geneva in 1984, it took inspiration from the Knights Templar and mixed spiritual teachings with strict rituals. Only the most loyal members, those who advanced from novice to knight, could enter the inner sanctum. There, chilling prophecies were shared. They believed the world would end in the mid-90s, and that transcending. The leaders said fire would carry their souls to another planet. While many hoped the group ended there, it's believed hundreds of followers may still remain today. Forest warning.
We're in the forest, and we found this weird stuff. Not sure what it is.
What started as a fun ATV ride through a quiet forest slowly turned into something much darker. As they rode deeper in, the trail changed. Strange metal cages appeared along the path, and burnt remains were scattered nearby, too organized to be random, too eerie to ignore. Then came the patterns, twisting shapes carved deep into the dirt, spreading in every direction. One of the riders was filming the whole thing and later admitted it was their first post because this place wasn't just some odd discovery. It had a purpose, one that clearly didn't welcome visitors.
We didn't make it. I don't have this much time on my hands. As you can see, it's my first YouTube post for a reason. Oh great, my friend just left me in a place like this. Yeah.
Levitating Illusion. This video is from Thailand, and it's not your typical street performance. It begins with a man who, though alive, was covered with a cloth. There were no strings, no support, nothing visible at all. He floated silently above the ground, still covered by the cloth. The children watching were stunned. At first, people assumed it was just a trick, but later, some claimed it was a form of dark magic, something real and not meant to be displayed. White Watcher. A camper was alone in the woods when strange sounds caught his attention, and after a few minutes, he spotted a flicker of fire through the leaves, something that didn't belong there. He moved closer, holding his light steady, but then he felt it, a silent figure watching him. It had a demonic head and a human-like body. This strange appearance made the guy froze in fear. What happened next could not be known. But let's just admit that he had been quite lucky to get the evidence and still make it out alive. Hell Temple. What makes this Buddhist temple famous are the weird statues all around. These creepy figures show what happens to souls after they leave this earth, according to Buddhist beliefs. Thai people believe souls pass through a heavenly place or a harsh hell between lives. The statues here don't hold back. They show people facing strange and frightening punishments. This temple isn't just for praying. It's a place that warns about what could come next, making it one of the scariest temples in the country. Buried Curse. In Turkey, a family began experiencing strange and unsettling events in their home. Troubled by these occurrences, they reached out to an Islamic expert for guidance. After investigating, he suggested that something dark and unnatural might be involved. Following his advice, the family decided to dig near their house. During the excavation, they discovered mysterious symbols, along with a jar filled with a poisonous substance wrapped in cloth. It became clear that this was an act of black magic. Fortunately, the family found it in time, before it could cause any serious harm. Lottery sacrifice. On October 10th, 2024, a house in Brazil caught global attention, but not for any good reason. It turned out a group of devil worshippers had been living there. When police finally raided them, what they did was beyond disturbing. They targeted 3 men and 1 woman, bringing them to a secluded property under false pretenses, and justified that it was all done for useful gain. Fortunately, the police was quick enough to capture them and protected the rest of the community. Forest summoning. A group of friends went hiking through the woods late at night. After hours of walking, they finally reached a quiet hill, but there, they found a strange spot.
And there's a hexagram. Oh, dude, is that blood?
On the ground near a tree was a large hexagram with what looked like dried, dark red stains beside it. Inside a broken-down fort, they discovered bones and wall markings that made the scene even more disturbing. They tried to stay calm near an old altar, but then, out of nowhere, a whisper broke the silence. What made it truly terrifying was that it said one of their names.
Why did you say my name?
Because...
Without another thought, they ran and decided never to return. Transwalk. This viral video from Singapore made the world talk. A maid was caught on CCTV behaving in a way that shocked her employers. She was dressed in white, walking slowly with her arms behind her back, and the way she moved looked like a scene from a horror movie. The footage showed her in a trance, not reacting to anything around her. Some believed she was possessed. Others thought it was an attempt to leave her job. Whatever the reason, the video was unsettling, and it's something the viewers won't forget anytime soon. Sealed offering. Archaeologists exploring a hidden cave beneath Chichen Itza found something that might explain why the Maya Empire collapsed. In the deep parts of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, they discovered a sealed ritual site untouched for over 1,000 years. Inside were nearly 200 ceramic vessels, many filled with bones and burnt offerings. This place was once used for dark ceremonies. Experts believe it was considered sacred, where people prayed to gods like Tlaloc during hard times, like drought. These offerings showed both their faith and fear, an ancient call for help when they had no other way. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. In the woods of Mississippi, a group stood around a burning cross. They claimed it was a symbol of faith and light, not hate.
Let me say that the cross is an inspiration, a sign of the Christian religion, a symbol of faith, hope, and love.
And said the ritual was legal since it took place on private property. But for many, the site still carried a dark and painful history. And one actually complained about it, as he felt that it was nothing other than magic that would affect others as well. Across town, a local pastor who had lived through the fear caused by such scenes stayed hopeful. He believed that no matter how strong hate might seem, good would still find a way to rise above it.
It hurts deeply, and I struggled for a long time not to hate those people that did that. Good will overcome evil. Right will overcome wrong.